On this topic of the Secret Service, I want to bring in Republican Senator Josh Hawley from the Hill. And Senator, thank you for your time today. Roll the video of the president yesterday, guys. What he was saying on the South Lawn is that I want to make clear the Secret Service needs more help, and I think Congress should respond to their need. Look, there's a battle over money. There's a battle over resources. There's a battle over management. Where do you come down on this? If it's number one, number two, or number three, or all three above?
Well, it's probably all three, but Bill, listen, management leadership is absolutely vital here. Yesterday, I released a whistleblower report, comprehensive report of all of the whistleblower information that has come to my office since July. Bill, it's a lot. We have had multiple whistleblowers from within the Secret Service tell us that what happened at Butler should never have happened. The Secret Service was not prepared. They did not follow their own protocols. And I have to say, looking at what happened over the weekend, I have the same set of questions. Why wasn't the perimeter of that golf course swept? Why did agents not find a guy who was there for 12 hours before he started pointing a rifle at the former president of the United States? I mean, clearly, we've got some issues here with the Secret Service, and I think it begins at the top.
Okay, two things here. Here's the acting Secret Service Director, Ronald Rowe. Just yesterday, he was asked a very specific question that you just described there. Watch here.
How many times did your agents go around the perimeter and scope out the golf course during the 12 hours that this guy was holed up in the shrubbery?
So this was an off-the-record movement. It wasn't a site that was on his scheduled, it wasn't part of his schedule. So there was no posting up of it because he wasn't supposed to have gone there in the first place.
And what do you think on the face of that answer? Maybe there's an explanation, maybe there's not. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, what he means to say is zero. The answer there is 0 times. They didn't do a protective sweep. And when he says that it was off the record, it just means it wasn't publicly available. Listen, I mean, Donald Trump plays golf frequently. He has been to this course frequently. It adjoins his residence. It's not as if they parachuted him in somewhere where they'd never been before. Clearly, the shooter, the would-be assassin, thought he might well be there, and he was able to camp out for 12 hours and have nobody come up to him. I have to tell you, Bill, this is a lot like Crooks, the other assassin back in Butler, who was able to get on that roof, able to take a line of sight and ultimately take shots, and nobody did anything until he started shooting the president. I mean, really, this is totally unacceptable, and Secret Service has got to provide some answers.
Okay, so, and one of these reports, I just want to read this for our audience, ask you a very specific question. The resulting findings are highly damaging to the credibility of the Secret Service and DHS, Department of Homeland Security. They reveal a compounding pattern of negligence, sloppiness, and gross incompetence that goes back years, all of which culminated in an assassination attempt that came inches from succeeding. That's referring to Butler 2 months ago. What do you mean it goes back years? Define that for our audience here.
What whistleblowers have told me, Bill, is that over a series of years, Secret Service leadership has steadily reduced the number of agents available in the field. They are now having to rely more on Homeland Security agents who are not trained. One of the whistleblower revelations is that most of the agents in Butler that day in July were not Secret Service, and they weren't trained. They had never done protective work before. Their only training was a webinar, a Zoom call. It's this pattern that is so troubling, and I think what we're finding is Secret Service just doesn't appear to be prepared to do their job. And the fact that both Secret Service and DHS are slow-walking, if not stonewalling, congressional investigations is totally unacceptable and raises a whole bunch more questions.
What's your solution?
Well, the solution is there needs to be accountability at the top. As I asked Director Rowe under oath almost 2 months ago, who have you fired? Who is being held accountable for what happened in Butler? And we're going to have the same set of questions for what happened over the weekend. We need to see real accountability, Bill, number one. Number two, we need to see changes in protocols. This needs to happen immediately. They can't keep doing the same thing over and over.
Okay, Senator, we'll see whether or not you make success on this, or progress, I should say. Thanks for coming on today, Josh Hawley out of Missouri. Thank you for your time.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.